Yeah, don't do that, Dad.
Why not, Pete?
You'll have the authorities on you if you start messing around with that thing there. And don't swing round there. A person can kill himself falling off like that.
Yeah. Let's go upstairs at the front, eh?
No, you mustn't go up to the front, Dad. It's not safe.
Why not, Pete?
The only safe place on the bus is like an aeroplane. It's on the ground floor, right at the back. That's the only safe place. Because if this bus was involved in a fatality, Dad, it's the people at the front who get killed first.
Well, you get killed at the back anyway, don't you?
No, but you get killed about 2 seconds later, you see. And for all you know, during those last 2 seconds, you might have an amazing religious experience. An amazing revelation what the poor blokes at the front wouldn't have had.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you go in the back, you see.
I see, we'll sit up here then, eh?
All right.
Yeah. What time's the bus leave, Pete?
About 15 minutes. I like to get here early so as to get this seat. The only safe seat in the bus, Dad.
Yeah, it is. Of course, you know, I really look forward to these Saturday evening outings, you know. I reckon the holiday roustabout is a real bargain.
It's a real bargain, Dad. The green holiday roustabout is a boon to the traveller, if that's what you mean. It's a real boon. Do you realise for 7 and 6pence you have access to 140,000 miles of British roadway with an unparalleled view of the lovely English countryside. Of course, the only trouble is you're not allowed off the bus. Otherwise you forfeit your ticket, you see. So most people have to give up after a couple of days.
Of course, it'd be all right if they had facilities on the bus, wouldn't it?
Well, Dad, if they had facilities on the bus, people would be on for years on end. That's why they don't have facilities on the buses.
Yeah. Well, talking of that, you remember that old bus that was dumped on the waste ground behind Green Lane Junior School?
Behind the wooden building?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I thought, you know, it'd be rather a nice place to live. So I took a couple of blankets up there one night, you know, nice lot of space and that.
Yeah.
But it had no facilities, Pete.
Well, that is deliberate to keep people off.
Yeah.
You know, keep people like you off.
Yeah.
What I like about the buses, Dad, it gives you a wonderful chance to meet people.
Done it, Pete.
Did I ever give you the account of my tempestuous affair on the 42B?
They've discontinued that route, haven't they, Pete?
Yeah, due to the incident I'm about to relate. I used to go on a 42B, I think it was spring of 1948.
Yeah.
Anyway, one day I got on the bus, you know, perfectly normally, sat down, uneventfully.
Yeah.
The bus started up, went on a stop, nobody got on, nobody got off. Bell rang, the bus started up again, went to another stop, nobody got on, nobody got off. Bell rang, the bus went on another stop, nobody got on, nobody got off.
How long does that go on for, Pete?
About 5 stops, Dad. It was a fairly uneventful journey, and until the incident, I won't bore you with the details.
You already have, Pete.
Anyway, after about 6 stops, suddenly this uncannily beautiful woman with incredibly sensuous looks about her got onto the platform of the bus.
Tempestuous beauty.
A tempestuous beauty, Dad, of a type rarely seen.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought hello, you know.
Yeah. Well, you said hello to her, did you?
No, I thought hello. I thought I'd play it very cool, Dad.
Play it cool, boy.
Yes,
Play
you
it
have,
cool.
you have to play it very cool with women if you're going to get anywhere, you see.
Yeah.
Anyway, I could immediately see what she was after.
Yeah.
Stood out a mile what she was after, that one, you know.
Yeah.
Because she gave me a fleeting glance.
What, like that?
No, slightly more fleeting than what you've just done.
Like that? I've ripped my neck, Pete.
Yeah, similar to what you did without the ricking. Anyway, she gave me this fleeting glance and I was immediately aware of what she wanted.
Yeah.
So I looked the other way. So she went upstairs immediately.
Oh?
I thought, funny.
Funny,
Her upstairs, me sitting downstairs, funny. Her upstairs, me down, funny. Stands to read what she
You
does.
down here, up there,
Funny. After.
Funny, yeah.
I knew what she wanted.
Yeah.
So sure enough, about 5 stops later, she come down the stairs, got off the bus without even looking at me.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I'd play it very cool.
Yeah.
So I went on another 4 stops, got off down at Green Lane, and I never seen her again. It was just one of those things, Dad, you know.
Yeah, just one of those crazy flames. A trip to the moon on gossamer wings. Just one of those things. Oh, yeah.
That's a bloody stupid song, isn't it? A trip to the moon on gossamer wings. You wouldn't stand a chance with gossamer wings getting up to the moon, hovering about in space with your gossamer wings.
Very unlikely.
That's why Britain's lagging behind in the space race, Dad. Imagine them saying, here, Philpott, here, Jarvis, here's the government-issued gossamer wings. Get up on the moon. Bloody hopeless.
Of course, you know, Pete, you've got you've got a way with birds that I haven't got.
Yeah,
But,
I have, yeah.
Did I tell you about that girl, Joan Harold, who I used to know? She used to travel on the 148 bus route a lot.
Wasn't she the tempestuous gypsy beauty with raven hair down to her waist?
Yeah, delicately boned hands.
Alabaster body, perfectly formed.
Thrusting through her dress.
Yes, Joan Harold.
Joan Harold,
Yes,
that's right.
Joan Harold, thrusting through the dress.
That's right,
Joan Harold.
Joan Harold. Well, anyway, as you know, or as you don't know, she used to travel on a 148 bus.
Of course she did that, yeah.
6 o'clock every evening, she used to get a 148 bus home. Well, I used to leave work about 5 o'clock, as you know, about 10 miles from where she was, anyway. But I always felt I had to see her. So what I used to do, I used to come out of work.
Yeah.
I used to get a 62B up to Chapel Heath Merry Fiddlers.
Yeah.
Then I used to go down the hill and get the 514 trolley down to Rainham Crescent.
Yes.
Then I used to go over by the railway bridge and go cross those fields by the dye works.
Yes.
There's a parsnip field and then there's an old one with cabbages.
Of course there is, Dan. I
I
know
could
that.
come out the other side by the hedge, by which time the 148 bus, the 6 o'clock one, was coming round that corner, Hot Hill.
Yes,
Now,
Hot
it used
Hill.
to come round very slowly, because it was a very sharp turn. And there's no bus stop there, but it used to be very slow. If it was going too fast, I used to lay down in the middle of the road. But what I used to do, I used to leap on the platform as it went past, because I knew she was on that bus.
Well, what happened then, Dad?
Well, I used to lay panting on the platform for about 10 minutes.
That's no bloody good. Do you ever get to speak to her at all, this Joan Harold woman?
Yeah, once when I got off the bus, she got off behind me, and I thought, you know, I'll play it a bit funny with her, and I dug her in the elbow, and I said, "Here, Joan, chase me." And I ran off down Bonham Gardens and halfway across Lymington Square before I realised she hadn't budged an inch.
Well, that's no bloody good. You've got to play it cool with these women, Dad, if you want to get anywhere. Do you ever get anywhere at all with her? Take her out or anything?
Well, I did take her out once, Pete. I took her out to West Ham Speedway once, and we had, I bought her 2 cups of tea, a box of Pontefract cakes, and a takeaway pizza. Nothing. Nothing, boy.
How much do you spend on her?
6 and 3.
6 and 3 and nothing?
Nothing, boy.
Not a touch?
Not a sniff, mate.
Blimey. You've been done, Dad. That's no good to...
Oh, I don't know
It's
about
no good to treat women like that. You've got to be extremely rough and tempestuous with women. Be extremely cool and masculine and dynamic. Let me tell you an example, Dad, which will illustrate this case in point. You know how in the spring of 1948, I used to go up Gants Hill for the model aeroplane racing on the 92B, wasn't it?
Yeah, they discontinued that route, didn't they, Pete?
Yeah, due to the incident I'm about to relate. And I was waiting one fine spring afternoon under the mulberry tree, the sun dappling onto the road, a strange air of romance in the air.
And the swallows singing in the sky.
Very similar to the noise you're currently making, yeah. And just standing there with, you know, my model under my arm, and suddenly this fantastic bird come up to me and stood by me. She was amazingly sensuous. She had sensuality written all over her face, Dad.
Did she really? All over her face?
No, not literally. That's a figure of speech. She didn't actually have anything written all over her face at all. I sometimes wish women did have things written over their face. Make it a bit easier. Things like sensuality, frigidity. You know where you were, wouldn't you?
What would you have written over your face, Pete?
I'd have insatiable lust written over my face. What would you have?
I'd have small but passionate.
No, you couldn't get all that on your face, Dad. You've got too small a face. You'd have to have one or the other, small or passionate. You get small on, I should stick to small. I think most women should have things written over them saying, forget about it. All over their forehead, forget about it.
Or come back when you got a £5.
Yeah, something like that. It would have saved you the money with Joan Harold. Anyway, up she comes, this incredibly sensuous beauty with raven hair to her waist, amazing sort of bohemian charm she had about her, you know.
An existentialist, Pete, eh?
Yeah, she'd obviously dabbled deep in the works of Sartre. She knew what it was all about.
Spent a couple of years by the Seine with a French poet and that.
Something like that. Anyway, she come up to me, lust standing all about her, you see. Complete lust. I knew immediately what she was after. She come up to me and said in a low, husky, almost unbelievably sensuous tone, she said, Excuse me,
Saucy,
saucy devil. Excuse me, but does this bus go to Gants Hill?
What do you say, Pete?
Well, I immediately asserted my masculinity. I said, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. What business is it of yours? That's the way to do it, treat them rough. You have to treat them rough, and after that I hammered home my advantage. I said, get out of my life, you brazen hussy. I never want to see you again. Get out of here.
What happened, Pete?
Well, she could take a hint. I never saw her again. That's what you have to do. Treat them rough if you're going to get anywhere.
Of course you do. I haven't got that way with women, Pete.
You've got to play it extremely cool, Dad.
Yeah. Have you seen those two birds that just got on, Pete?
Good. Do you fancy either of those?
I fancy the scraggy one on the aisle.
You fancy the thin one?
Yeah.
Well, she can be yours in a matter of moments, Dad.
Yeah?
If you just play your cards right, the thin one. All we have to do is go up to her, say something ironic to establish your amazing masculinity, you see. Go up, she's fairly thin, isn't she?
Yeah.
Or say something ironic like, hello, fatty. Mean an ironic comment on the fact she's thin.
Yeah.
Then say to her in a rough, brutal way, like James Cagney used to do, go up to her and say, how about a bit of passionate love with me?
You think that'll work?
Well, I should think so, yeah. Just be very masculine, aggressively so.
I'll try it, shall I?
Go on.
Hello, fat face. How about
A bit of passionate
How about a bit of passion up with me then?
What happened, Dad?
She sat in my face, Pete.
Oh, you're away, aren't you?
Am I?
Physical contact after such a brief meeting, yeah. That's the way to do it, Dad. Now you've got to play it extremely cool. Why don't we go upstairs and ignore them for about 10 stops?
Play it cool,
Play it cool. It's the only way to do it,
Yeah,
Dad.
all right. How do we get up there?